my name is Arik Golowinski, and I'm the Group Product Manager for the Managed Stage. Today, I want to talk about how to create a release post for our monthly release blog post. So the way that there's two ways to actually create a blog post for the release. I'm going to start with the easy way, which is when you go to an issue, if you add a label that says release post primary or secondary, within some time, you'll automatically get a release post item generated. And you can also do it manually, and there's instructions in a handbook on how to create that. But basically, you go to the www project, into the repository under the monthly release posts folder, and then you can create a YAML file for whatever release post item you're going to do. So when I created this release post item, it's a primary item. We automatically got a merge request open, which mimics the issue name, but it adds draft to it, and it opens it in the www project, as I mentioned. And this is auto-populated, so the engineer that's assigned to it gets mentioned here, the PMM, our technical writer, product designers, and engineering managers. The issue is automatically linked, and then there's a whole checklist of what we need to do. So as a product manager, we start by setting it to you as the assignee. If you use the automatic release post generator, this is automatically assigned to you. This one was assigned to Chaim, who is the product manager for this group. Now we need to add specifics to the release post, which include the why, a title that has to have a max of 7 words, the content, images and videos. Now for primary issues, image or a video is mandatory, but for secondary is optional. And then for primary issues, we also have to add it to the features YAML file. For secondary release post items, we do not. What is the difference between secondary release post item and a primary? Primary has a huge impact. It's a big issue, very interesting to our customers. That appears on the top page of the release post. And a secondary is a nice improvement, a feature, an API, something that impacts our users, but it's not as impactful as a primary issue. So with that introduction, let's get started. So I'm going to edit this with a web IDE. And the web IDE automatically opens this auto-generated release post item, and we can see the format of it. You can see it's a primary issue. We get the name that's auto-populated. It gets auto-populated by the tier that this is available for, which is generated by the labels on the issue. We need to change the documentation link because this is just a suggestion. The image also needs to be replaced. The reporter is automatically populated based on whoever is the PM of the group. And this is based on the label in the issue. Now this label is incorrect because this is an issue that moves from the release stage to the managed stage. So we're going to go ahead and change that. And the categories say continuous delivery and release orchestration. I'm going to leave continuous delivery because it is related to continuous delivery. This specific issue talks about DORA metrics, which are around our production environments. And so definitely related to CD, but not so much to release orchestration. I'm going to change this to value stream management, which is the category that this issue belongs to. The issue URL is auto-populated, and then we have a description. The description describes what is the problem and solution that we're proposing, and what is this. So here you can see that this was auto-populated. The user should be able to use the API to query for time to restore service data using the external tool. If we open the original issue, you'll see that under the release notes, this is exactly what is written, and that's why it was pulled in. Now we can go ahead and edit this to be something else. For example, in this release, we have added API support for time to restore service. This data helps teams continuously improve in their stability metrics. And let's say that I'm really happy with this. I still need to figure out the link to the documentation. How can I know that? If I go back to the original issue and I look at the merge requests that are associated to it, this is the one that the development team is actually working on. And if I look at the changes here, I can see that the change was on Docs API, DORA metrics. And so this is the path that I need to copy and place it here. Fine tune a little bit. And I still need to figure out an image, which I'll do at a later time after this recording. Sorry, I was on the wrong tab. This also happens. So fix it here. And I'll commit the message. The release post pipeline is going to fail because the primary issue also needs, as I mentioned, indication in the features YAML page. So once this commit is accepted, I'll go ahead and add another change for the feature YAML page. The features YAML page is still on the data folder where our release posts are, but if we go to the bottom where there's flat files, you'll find the features YAML page, which is this one. And we need to enter an entry for it. So what I'm going to do is look for a previous DORA metric, because this is the third. So we can find deployment frequency here. And I'm just going to copy this and create a new entry for our time to restore service. And then just make sure that we get rid of all the previous mentions of the previous feature. I need to change also the URL here to fit the previous URL. The reason is because this is an API and not a chart. And the other doc link links to the chart, which hasn't been developed yet. Let's go back to our time to restore. There we go. We were editing this. And here we go. We have our new link. I'm going to make sure that this is just for Ultimate and everything looks okay. And I'm going to go ahead and commit. So that's basically how you work on a release post item. And I hope this is helpful.